We live, sir.
My brother. Questions? Sure.
Sloppy, if I may, sir. Baba Shop, can you give me a couple of precepts for battle? I don't want to say battle on the brother that I work with has demons on him. Of course, he gets high, and his thing is stating he loving everybody. Now I know we have the basic precepts, and he think he knows the Bible, so I'm looking for what can I bring to him to other than the milk scriptures, something so grounded that it kind of shakes him as far as getting high.
You want to specifically know about him getting high, right?
Come on, sir.
You gotta combat him. He gets high and he uses it as a reason to love everybody.
Right.
Or let's say not a reason. He gets high so he loves everybody.
Come on, sir.
You can first give me Ezekiel. Give me Ezekiel 8:17. You can vibrate out the personal phones if it's not an emergency.
You said Ezekiel what, sir?
8:17. You go out, grab that Apple charger right there. With the AirPods attached to it. Bring them both with you. Ezekiel 8:17.
8:17. Come on, sir. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing?
Is it a what?
Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abomination which they commit there? It's like you commit here.
The abomination which they commit here. Judah is also synonymous. Sometimes it includes the quote unquote entire southern kingdom, the so-called entire southern kingdom. So read one more time.
Come from the top, sir.
From the top.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou not seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abomination which they commit here? For they have fulfilled, they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger. For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. They put the branch to their nose.
You holding that frontal leaf, that special sweet, that Dutch master that you break down, instead of that white owl. You breaking these blunt mills down. And you think it's a light thing. It is something light. It is a small thing. It is a small thing. What is another thing that is a synonym for light? Which is always light. You're being light-hearted. You're joking around, right? It's a joke to you that you smoke these drugs, you use drugs, that you get high, and you love white people when you're on these drugs. This is a light thing to you. And then it says it provokes what to violence?
Sloppy, sir.
the land.
Fill the land with violence.
Let's fill the land with violence. You fill these young children with violence. Is there a like things in the house of Judah that you fill these young children with so much goddamn violence? So much goddamn violence. You 12-year-olds running around in the blocks. You got 12-year-olds running around with guns, shooting people, killing people. High. They want to smoke because they see you smoke. They see you smoke. What made you want to smoke when you was a kid? You saw everybody outside on that goddamn block getting money and smoking them goddamn drugs.
Right.
So you want to smoke them goddamn drugs. You understand? You want to be like the dope boy on the corner. You have turned the land into you put the land into violence. You understand?
Oh,
You
God.
put the land into violence. What used to be so innocent and so, so innocent, not so innocent. And a young man turns to violence. Turns to violence, man. When a young man should be thinking about playing football, basketball, running around the house, playing kickball, going to the park, playing tag with his friends, watching cartoons. You perverted that man's mind. You perverted it into violence.
Right.
And I was 10 years old. You understand?
No
You
problem.
provoked that land of violence. How did I do it? I saw people smoking weed. And one day somebody left a roach. I don't know what a roach is. For people around that don't, it's the end of the blunt. That end piece, when you almost done with the blunt, you put it out. I saw a roach right there and I smoked.
Right.
You understand? Why? Because I saw people around me who were supposed to be role models. Who I was supposed to look up to. They smoked weed. So I'm going to smoke weed.
Right.
He is lighthearted. This is a light thing, and this doesn't mean much then. Why? Why does it mean much then? Because somebody stole the warrior spirit out of that young man. That young man was a fighter. That young man, he was a killer at one point. At one point, he was a killer, and then life starts to beat you down, and beat you down, and beat you down, and you fight for a while. There's no man on earth like the black man.
Right.
Black, Hispanic, and Indian. You fight. You don't just take it laying down. You fight and you fight. And eventually, they don't work. Because you don't have the Lord on your side. You fight, and then eventually you turn it back into drugs.
Right.
Eventually, you smoke weed. Some of us go to alcohol. You can turn alcohol into a goddamn substance abuse mechanism. You understand?
Right.
Alcohol can be something that you abuse as well. Alcohol is lawful, but it can be something you abuse. And brothers turn to alcohol and alcoholism. Brothers go to drugs and they smoke weed and they pop pills. That was used to be a fight. Read Genesis 49. We get to 49:6. Judah is a young lion.
Genesis 49.
I believe in Genesis 49:6. Judah is a young lion. He put that branch to his lungs out and he smokes his problem away. I remember when I got high and I would just smile and laugh. I was smiling and laughing. It wasn't nothing funny. Nobody cracked a joke. I wasn't watching Eddie Murphy. I wasn't watching Dave Chappelle. I wasn't watching nothing funny enough. But I would smile and laugh because I put that goddamn branch to my nose and put the best, these kids smoking all this. I'm feeling old, y'all.
49 and what, sir?
Nah. 6.
6.
If you trouble with everything, Judah is a young lion as well.
All
Don't read it yet.
right.
Don't read it yet. I remember laughing, just laughing after smoking. You sit there, you smoke because it's just a part of your day. It's part of your daily routine. I remember when I was a cold-blooded son. I used to roll a blunt up and put it on top of my bike. I rolled the goddamn blunt up, put it there and took a picture of it. I was a dummy. I was a sinner. I didn't care. You understand? I would laugh. When I was smoking, I would laugh. Nobody cracked a joke. There was nothing funny. My life was I lived in the middle of the hood. What the hell was funny? I wasn't watching a stand-up comedian. Why was I laughing out? That drug is a gate. Called a gateway. That drug is made to make you a vagina. That is what that drug is for. That drug is made to make you a vagina. If you smoke the wrong strain, you get a headache. You get hungry, you eat up the whole goddamn free. You on have EBT. Why are you smoking something that's gonna make you know your goddamn food? You want EBT out. You should probably not do it. You fighting your goddamn demons. Somebody has it. Somebody. You're fighting your demons and you're losing. And for a while you win. For a while it seems like you're winning because you're a black man. You're a black man and can't nothing keep you down. I understand, brother. And in reality kicks in. And you are nothing without the Lord.
That's right.
And you have to smoke the weed and pop the ecstasy and pills and mollies and the Superman. You got to take all of this. You got to take all of this. Like some brothers move on to wet, crack. Brothers move on to, you know, we think weed is, amongst the men, we think weed is a small thing. Even when you come to the truth, you're like, damn, at least I'm some crack there. You know, a drug is a drug.
Right.
Some brothers move on to those worst drugs. That brother put that branch to his nose because he was a young lion. He was. And nobody told him how to deal with his problems. You understand? Nobody told him why he was poor. Nobody told him why he was in the situation he was in, why he had to live in the hood he was in, why his mother didn't have no money, why his father wasn't around, why all your friends, although they smoked weed, he had no father to tell him, just because your friends doing it, don't make it cool.
Right.
He had no father telling him that. He had no father telling him that's not your friends.
That's right.
Right.
You walking around with a bunch of zombies all goddamn day. Imagine that. Imagine that. I'll never forget this, man. I was early in the truth. The one damn Doug, New Chicago rapper said, all of my friends died hot. Every last one. Whenever they died, it was hot. Lean, weed, pill, whatever you want to say. When they died, it was hot. When you get killed, man, you're high. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're high. So you would think that if you're a brother walking around every day, you would walk around high. That's what you think. What do you do still? What do you still going on? What do they do still? If you want to tell your friend, your old friends right down the street, what would they smell like? Good old weed. The good old weed, they smell just like it. They smell just like it. And you'll think that they will want to stop. We I guarantee you, Jersey City, New York, and Orange, New Patterson, it's the same thing as Chicago. When all your friends died, they were high.
Right.
They were high. I had a teacher tell me one time, you gonna jump into that, I'm sorry, you gonna jump into that match. I had a teacher tell me one time, her brother was a young kid, and her brother died. Her brother died, he got shot. Somebody came up to him real close and started shooting at him. It seemed like the Matrix. Even the cops said it looked like the Matrix, how many bullets was in the wall. Because they know how close he was to him. So how many bullets missed him was like a miracle. You know what he had to stop to do? It's fancy. He had to stop dodging bullets to his pants was behind and he died. Because then a bullet hit him. Imagine if he had his head together. I probably should not walk around sagging my pants. Right. Imagine your brother said, I probably shouldn't walk around high.
Right.
And he breathed out of my mind. The only time I got black out drunk out, it ain't the same. The only time I got black out drunk 2 times. Guess where I was at? In my goddamn house.
Right.
In my goddamn house. The door was locked. You understand? Locked and chained the goddamn hell up. Late at night, I was on my way to sleep anyway. You understand? I just went to sleep faster. I was on my way to sleep anyway. These brothers walk around high because he can't deal with these issues.
Right.
Whatever happened to him as a child or whatever his life is like now, he put that goddamn branch to his nose and he thinks it is a right thing. It is a very right thing, because this helps him. This helps him cope. Yeah.
Sloppy, my thing. Two quick points. One, brother, he told me he has cancer, right? And I know
You should smoke more.
I know for sure that he sniffs heroin, right?
No.
That's what the brother. Here's the second part, and this some a little bit validity to what you were saying about the drugs and this stuff. A friend I grew up with since child's birth, like we literally go back all the way back to pacifiers together. His wife just died 2 days ago from a seizure. Here's the thing. She smokes crack. And here's the crazy part. He sent her up to Jersey to go get it, to pick up the work for him, to bring it back to him. She took 10 grams out his work and smoked it and caught a seizure and died in his hands. I talked to him this morning. The brother is losing his mind. And I'm saying to him in the best way possible, why the hell would you send her to pick up crack knowing that she has a problem with smoking?
I'll tell you why right now. I'll tell you why right now. Because he can't handle his problems, and neither can she. He's not a man capable of telling her how to handle her problems. All he can do is direct her with practice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He smokes weed. I don't smoke weed. I can tell you how to fix your problems. I don't do drugs. I don't sit against the world. I can tell you how to fix your problems.
Right.
He smokes weed. What can he help you? He can't help you with anything. All
Right.
he can do is tell you what the hell weed is. Hey, man, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. That's crazy. We're going to do the same thing. Me now, like that, I'm going to church. That's how I handle my problems. All he knew how to do was, yeah, that's why I said credit. You live right there, I can give you the address. Because I handle my problems with weed. That's all he can do. You Genesis 49, 6, I told you that.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Judah is a lion's whelp. Go ahead.
From the prey. My son, thou art go up. He stood down.
He prayed, my son, thou hast gone up. He has stood, he said, he has stood down.
He stooped down.
He has stooped down. I'm going to open that door again. Open that door. He has stooped down. Brother, Judah used to be so amazing. That brother used to be amazing. You understand? That brother used to be amazing. That brother is not amazing anymore, Rashad. Because that man puts that branch to his nose. That man puts that branch to his nose out, and he forgets all about him being a lion. He's no longer a lion. You understand? Now he is a man who needs that. He needs that to help him cope. He needs that to help him cope with everything he's going through. And that is why you can show him this, Rashad. You can show him Ezekiel. You can show him Genesis. When you show that, Rashad, you follow him. You can give him Genesis. You can give him Ezekiel. And when you show this to him, that's all you got to get him. Because he puts that branch to his nose like it is a light thing now. It's a light thing, it is a small thing. But in reality, that is the reason why that man cannot cope with whatever he is doing. You understand? Brother, you want questions? Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. Lock it.
You got any questions?
Call 911, sir. I got you right here. Yeah, lock it.
I don't need it, but I can take it. Because everybody is on the same.
Everybody what?
On the same mic, bro.
All right, what's your question? Give it up for New Jersey holding it down.
So I took Rashad's question. I know you want to expound on it. He had a question on how to deal with a brother who smokes weed and it makes him love everybody. So I gave him Ezekiel 8:17. One second. I gave him Ezekiel 8:17. God, he smokes weed, and when he smokes weed, he laughs, he giggles, he's a different, yeah. I gave him Ezekiel. God. That might be the second part. He was talking about he smoked weed first.
Yeah, what's your What's your question about that?
I don't want Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that be created for vengeance.
Okay. You want to break down that?
Time I want con, sir.
You got it in front of you.
Time I want con, so I'm gonna put it right now.
Little Calvert, New Jersey. Little Calvert, New Jersey.
You can read what you got.
Time I want con, sir. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28.
Right.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
You what?
Lay on sore strokes.
Okay.
In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
All right, so now what are we dealing with here? So you read the verse. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury. So now just that part. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. What is that part talking about?
That is spirits made for justice. I don't want like for vengeance, for justice.
Right, so now what are the spirits?
You say death angels.
Yeah. That's a perfect answer. And even if you just said angels, that's what it's talking about. Right? A good precept to understand is go to First Kings. Because with this notion, right, this scripture that you brought out right here, this kills the whole notion that God is not in control of the judgments or the spirits, right? Go to First Kings 22, and we're going to start at verse 19. First Kings 22, we're going to start at 19.
Sir. It's the book of First Kings, chapter 22, verse 19. All out of YM, I can have it. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him.
Now you got the Most High sitting on his throne, and you got the host of heaven. The host of heaven are the angels. That's not saying the host of heaven, right?
No.
What you're seeing is a council.
No.
Imagine if, like, you got the Lord on his throne, and you got the council around him, right?
No. Standing by him on the right hand and on his left hand.
Right.
No. And the Lord said, who shall pursue Ahab, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead.
Now, what the Lord did, what this council is about is who is going to make King Ahab fall. Now, for those that don't know, King Ahab married that Queen Jezebel that was serving false idols. Now the Lord wants him to fall. So he's having a council with his council. And he's saying, who's going to make him fall?
Sir. And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner.
Now what the council is doing now is saying, I can make him fall like this. I can make him fall like that. I can do this, right?
And there came forth a spirit.
And then so now here comes a spirit. So now this spirit comes, go ahead.
Sir. And stood before the Lord and said, I will pursue him.
Now here comes the spirit. Remember, your scripture said that the spirit's created for vengeance. So now this spirit comes before the Most High and says, I will see this.
Sir. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith And he said, I will go forth, and I will be lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
Now, this spirit said he's going to go and seduce them with lies. That's what he's going.
And he said, thou shalt pursue him and prevail, also go forth and do so.
Now, let's go back to your prophets. Now, the Lord told him he will prevail and do so. Now, why did the Lord know? Now, remember, the question was, how is he going to make Ahab fall? So they're coming to him with their ideas of how he's going to fall. When the lion spirit comes, the Lord said, you're going to prevail. How did the Lord know that that lying spirit would prevail over the other people's ideas?
Because Ahab was a liar.
Meaning, he's a liar, then what does that mean?
He's a sinner.
That's true. If he's a liar, it means
Yeah, liar. I
very
mean,
simple.
he would fall for the lion spirit
Why would he fall for the liar?
because he deals in lies.
He loves lies.
Just loves lies.
So it's almost like, you know how the scripture say, know them that labor among you?
Come.
So of course the Lord knows exactly what demon is on you.
Right.
So if you're a lover of lies, that spirit can come and make you fall.
Right.
Now, can you resist that lie?
Sister lie.
Yeah. And that lie is bad.
If I make sense, I would like to say, if you follow the truth, you can.
Right. You don't have to succumb to that seducing spirit.
Right.
You don't have to. You succumb to that spirit because it's already in you.
Come.
That's James, the first chapter.
James.
You gotta need to hear. Go to James. I'm gonna come right back to Ecclesiastes, all right? So go to James 1. And this scripture that you asked about the spirit, you can understand this battle. You can understand life. If you can understand that the only way you get conquered by a demon is if the demon is already living in you. That's your flesh. The battle that you have in life is flesh versus spirit. Nothing more than that. Your spirit wants you to obey the Most High. Your flesh wants you to obey yourself. So the things that make you feel good, that's what you want to do. And you know who knows that? The demons know that. The spirits know that. So now go to James 1 and we're going to start at verse 12.
It's the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Well, you have it. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
That's important. It says, blessed is the man that endures temptation. Because temptation is never going to stop. There's never going to be a moment in your life when you walk out that door, when you wake up, when you open your eyes, when you turn on your phone, when you go think you're going to get a bottle, that temptation is not coming. Temptation is always, that's why I said, blessed is the man that endures. Because the blessing comes from the Most High. When Christ got tempted, after he endured that temptation, how long did Satan leave? How long did Satan leave?
4 seasons.
4 seasons. That's it. That means that after Christ battled Satan, Satan left. But Satan came back. Satan,
So you mean when he was in the he's in the mountains?
yeah, when Christ fasted for 40 days and 40 nights,
Right.
it says he left him for a season.
He left him for a season.
Only for a season.
And he came back right after that season. He promised to give him the whole world.
Right. So after he promised to give him the whole world, and Yahushua don't submit, don't succumb to Satan, it says he left him for a season. It doesn't say he left him forever. And that's the difference. The difference between the truth and the Christian church. The Christian church will have you believe that when you resist that temptation, it's gone forever. All you got to do is just believe.
Right.
The caveat they give you is God loves the sinner, he hates the sin. So the whole time you're sinning, you believe God still loves you, but God hates you. Because
It's like there's a good precept. One thing that believe and come back with several.
yeah, Matthew the 12th chapter. If we need to go over that, we can go over that next. So when it says he left it for a season, every time, so when you read blessed is the man that endures temptation,
Right.
because it takes the Lord to resist that temptation. And if you're with the Lord, then you're with him in spirit. Now with him in flesh. Everybody out their mouth says, I love the Lord.
Right.
Your spirit, the scriptures say you must worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. The truth is knowing the scripture. The spirit is aligning your flesh with the Most High and then making sure everybody else around you has that same spirit. That's the spirit.
Right.
Now it says, blessed is the man that endures temptation. Keep reading.
For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
That's the point. Because when you are tried, you receive the crown of life. And that's all we're trying to do. And here's how you know that this life doesn't mean you're alive. Because you're alive while you're enduring the temptation.
Right.
But the crown of life is the reward that you get for that endurance. What do you get if you don't endure? What crown do you get? Death. Crown of death. Hold back and go to Deuteronomy 30 and 19. And all this ties right into that scripture before.
You said 30 and 19.
Right, 30 and 19.
Son of God, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19.
Wow,
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you,
That's right.
that I have set before you life and death.
That's set before you. So imagine you at a table. On one side of the table, you got life. Another side of the table, you got death. But you're alive in that moment. So what this is talking about is what you're going to yield your spirit to. What you yield your spirit to is going to show whether you want to die or whether you want to live.
right.
I agree.
Blessing and cursing.
Uh-huh.
Therefore choose life.
Choose what?
Choose life,
Uh-huh.
that both thou and thy seed may live.
That's the whole point of the Bible. Is to choose life, not just for you, because it's so selfish of a man to choose his own life. He has children. It's so selfish of a man to choose his own life when they say they're in the truth. Because what you do affects your brothers.
Right.
Imagine you were drunk and now you can't make camp. Now the camp can't go out. Imagine you were drunk and you out there being a damn lion or a bulldog in the house and you fighting and now your camp leader got to come and worry about what you're doing, or your brother got to come and fix you. Or you harm yourself, you harm your kid, you damage them, you lose a job. Everything you do affects the body. You marry a whore, you know who just married that whore? The school married a whore.
Right.
Because you married that whore.
Right.
You understand? And so we will remove you. And that remove you is helping, and it's what that scripture said, because what you're telling us is that you're choosing death. You're choosing the curse. Right. So now when you endure that, that's when you get life. Keep going back to James.
Son of God. The book of James, chapter 12, chapter 1, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Damn right. And now, that's how you know love is keeping the commandments. Because he only promised it to them that love him. And what is love? Keeping the commandments.
Right.
How do you get life? Keeping the commandments. There is no getting around it. Keep going.
Son of God. Verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted,
Right?
I am tempted of God.
But no man say when he is tempted that he is tempted of God. That's important. Because everybody like to blame God for every single thing that they do.
That's right.
There ain't nothing that they do in life that we don't want to blame God for. Oh, I couldn't resist it, man. God knows my heart. God made me a homosexual. God made me get high. You see how I was brought up? I was brought up addicted to drugs. My family was on drugs.
Right.
So I had to be a drug dealer. That's all I knew. God wanted me to be a drug dealer. That's what we think our life is.
Right.
That's the bullshit that you come up with in your own mind to do the evil that you do.
That's right.
That's what it is. Keep going.
For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
Damn right. Now, when it says neither he tempted any man, what is that part? What does he not tempt any man with? Yes, sir. Yeah.
With temptation,
With evil.
with evil come.
Yeah. What the Lord does, he does not tempt you with evil.
Huh, so like, the Lord don't tell you to do evil.
That's a temptation. The Lord wouldn't tell you,
Right.
hey, go sleep with that man, you're a man. Go sleep with that woman, you know she married. The Lord don't tempt you with that.
Oh yeah. She came like, okay, yeah, that devil. She came in front of you looking all good and everything. Nah, man, she
Yeah, the
came in
Lord
front
didn't
of
say
you. The
that
Lord
for
said, "Hey, she's sinning for you."
Yeah, the Lord didn't say that.
Nah,
You understand?
nah.
Keep going.
Come.
So
Verse
it's
4.
a precept when women say that must be a sign. You know, women favorite thing in relationships is that must be a sign. It must be a sign, you know, to do
Right.
something other than
Right.
what they should do.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that's a sign
Yeah.
from God.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let no sister have an argument with her husband. If some cat go to a job, some start talking to her real nice.
Right.
Maybe see her in pain and say, "Oh, she'll swear that's a sign, especially if she's into that astrology. Don't let her be into stars. You know,
Oh, God.
stars will have these women leave the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Take kids, shut everything down because Jupiter told her. Jupiter told in the third house to the 12th, 10th to the 12th power, said it's time to go. Now, because Jupiter did Neptune get involved in this, check Saturn, everybody done told her to leave.
Thank God.
Y'all think I'm bullshit. Y'all look into that astrology. Them sisters. Them sisters is running to that astrology.
Right.
They run into astrology because they're running to everything that gives them any excuse to not listen to you. And it's up to you to stand with the Lord. You know what happened? You're going to have your house. Y'all will have a house in Jupiter and Saturn together. You're going to have all kind of space and room.
Right.
And it'll make you just be destroyed at the end.
Right.
Going.
Come. Verse 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
That's the point. That's what it really is about. Every man is tempted and he is drawn away of his own lust. There ain't no temptation that you got when you sin against God that God gave you. Not one. Every temptation you got is your own lust. That's the flesh part. The only thing the Lord is going to give you is a spirit to escape it, or a way to escape it. Go to 1 Corinthians 6. I think it's 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13.
Said 1 Corinthians what, sir?
10 and 13.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. There have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man.
What is that part mean? There's no temptation that's taking you, but such as common to man. What is that? Right now? Well,
Temptation that you're going through, a lot of brothers done went through it before.
right. And that's important too, because you'll swear ain't nobody had this hell you had.
God, God.
Ain't nobody had a woman as evil as your woman.
God, God.
You ain't had a man till you had the man I had. Let me tell you something. Your woman is common. She beating down your door, complaining about you having more than one woman. That's common. Everybody's wife complains about time and woman. You think your man is the most evilest man on the planet? Everybody thinks your man is the most evilest man on the planet. You think your job beating you down? Every slavery is beating you down. There's nothing that happens to you that is not common. And you have to understand that, because if you think it's specific to you, you'll get overwhelmed. And once one demon comes, and the whole swarm of demons know, next thing you know, legion coming.
Right.
Now another demon is coming. Another demon is coming. Right. Another demon is coming. Once you know that every temptation you got is normal, it'll help you fight it. Because I'm not normal. Are y'all normal? So if you're not normal, the temptation that's common is normal. Should not be able to defeat you.
Right.
So like that's like growing up. You know how you grow up in the hood, right? And when you grow up in the hood, there's different levels in the hood. You grow up in the hood. I grew up in the hood. I had my grandparents, right? So my grandparents gave me whatever I want.
Right.
There was other brothers. They ain't had a grandparents.
That's the lowest set when you turn it off.
Lowest set?
Come.
Got hot?
I can turn it off.
Just go a little bit. So that way they can get good on the sound.
Yeah.
I don't pick it up at all.
Oh, it don't?
Loud.
That must just
Quality.
He got the super mic. Go ahead,
Yeah, sir. But that's like how I grew up in the hood, and I had grandparents, right, that gave me everything I wanted.
Right.
But then it was other people in the hood that their parents ain't give them nothing because they had single mother households and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
And one thing, and when I used to talk to certain sisters, that the way they used to try to get over on me, like, well, you don't know what it's like to be like me. You don't know what it's like to not have nothing. You got a silver spoon. You had your grandparents. They gave you this. I was out at 15 on my own paying rent.
Right. And what would your response be?
Right? Now, no, when I was in the world, I was
That's what
like,
I'm saying. What was your
yeah, when I
response?
was in the world, I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe you is harder than me. Maybe I need to just step my game up and
All right.
help you out more.
What were both of y'all missing? What was both of y'all missing in the back?
So like that somebody been through that before.
That's true, but what were both of y'all missing? They said you got it good because you got your grandparents. But what was both of y'all missing?
The Most High.
That's true too. But y'all both were missing parents.
It's like,
Yo,
you gonna say
man,
God. Like
yeah,
having
your
your
parents.
grandparents is not your parents.
Calm.
That's another misconception.
Yeah, calm.
People think that
Yeah.
I can take the kids away, and
Yeah.
as long as grandma raising them, that's the replace of the mother, or that's the replace of the father. You can't replace a father. You can't
Calm.
replace a mother.
Right.
You can't bring a stepdad in, and now he replaces the father. You
Right.
can't bring a stepmother in, and she replaces the mother.
Calm.
Because who wants the original? The child does.
right.
You can have a grandparent. I'm pretty sure you know you had your grandparents, but your parents have been better. Would it have been better if you had your parents?
Calm.
Turn that fan on.
Okay, no sweat. You good. Turn the fan back on. So let's burn it up.
So like,
You trying to show out. So now you can't replace a parent. Because as much as your grandparents can love you, you still gonna have daddy issues. You
Calm.
still gonna have mommy issues.
Calm.
So when they say you got a silver spoon, I don't know about it. It might be a copper spoon. You might have a wooden spoon. But it's still a messed up spoon. It's not a silver spoon.
Calm.
Because you'd rather have your parents. You understand? Keep reading whoever you read.
Cover God. Leviticus 13. But God is faithful,
Right.
who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
That's also important. Because when you go into that temptation, if this scripture just said, He's not going to suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. That means whatever temptation you were going through, you were made to conquer. That's what you were made to do. You was not made to fall to your temptation. You was not made to fall to whatever demon comes to you. Whatever demon comes to you, you was created to defeat that demon. As opposed to thinking, oh, it's too much, it's gonna overpower me. I'm gonna just get high today, and I'm gonna start over tomorrow. You ever used to be a weekend rehabilitator? I know I used to.
Oh, God.
Every Friday on the weekend. This is the last weekend I smoke weed. And then Monday, man.
After 420, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, after 420, I'm gonna stop. 421, 421 evening, you done found a reason to get high again.
Right.
Yeah, because you think, oh, no, I'm gonna just stop, I'm gonna come right back. No, the Lord created every way for you to conquer every demon that you have.
Right.
You agree?
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape?
That's important. He gonna always make a way for you to escape that temptation.
That's right.
Any demon that comes, you know what you need to battle on demon? You need energy. That's your life. You ever see like the cartoons? I'm a little older, so the Tom and Jerry cartoons, they would have a demon on one side and angel on the other.
Right.
That's the voice you hear in your head all day.
Right.
In the physical, you see the weed or the whore, or the man if you got a man, or the abortion clinic. That's what you see in the physical. In the spirit, there's a spirit. In the spirit world, there's a spirit telling you do this, telling you to do nothing. It's what you yielded to. That's the whole point of Deuteronomy 13 and 30 and 19. You choose life or you choose death.
That's right.
And it's all based on what you yield your spirit to, what you choose to listen to.
Right.
That's the temptation. Right. So let's go to back to Ecclesiastes 39.
Sir. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28. Or Al-Wadiyam, I can have it. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword, strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
So now, when you see these spirits come out, like, they look at Satan as somebody against God. They look at demons. They look at all of these things as somebody against God. But that text just said, when the time comes, when the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the question you got to ask, who made the spirits? Everybody's going to say the Most High made these spirits. So when they cause that destruction, when they pour out their wrath, they appease the one of him that made them. And you know when they appease him? Even when you fall. That's why we read. When Ahab fell, that appeased, that lying spirit appeased the Most High to make Ahab fall. But it's disobedient. So you have to make sure that you're not Ahab. You got to make sure you're not a Judas. You got to make sure you're not all the Israelites that we read about in these scriptures that fall to the temptation of their flesh, to the demon in them. Remember when they was traveling through Israel, to get to Israel, somebody stole a Moabite garment. For stealing that Moabite garment, Israel started losing wars. And Joshua, he go inquire why we losing wars, and that Moabite garment, that man got killed over a garment. That lets you know the body can suffer over your mistake, over your sin. The body can suffer.
Come on. So that's like that. So that's like we go to camp, right? And we got somebody that's in sin, right? We could suffer for that mistake.
That's correct.
Come on.
You definitely suffer for it. In 1 Corinthians 5, 1 Corinthians 5 and 1. Y'all got any other questions?
No question, sir. What was the scripture in Matthew? You said Matthew 12.
12. Yeah, you want to go there first before this one?
Probably so.
Now let's go to Matthew 12, and I think it's verse 40. Then go to 1 Corinthians 5. And this is almost on the subject I was going to go into, which is endurance. going to this truth is prevalent, especially in these times that we're in right now. You got COVID, you got monkey, you got all these diseases, you got gas prices going up, you got food prices going up, all these different things that's happening. It can make you shake your faith.
So this is the thing, right? So when you come to the truth, right? Like you know how you got a lot of people like Commander General Yohana and them, when they came into the truth, right? Ain't nobody see all these prophecies coming up like that. All they had was faith. So at the end, now that everybody can see everything happening, why is brothers will still be the truth? Now that you can see it in your face.
Because, that's like the parable of the soul, the care. Your woman can make you be the truth. That's your wonderful point. I mean, you brother got wives in there, right? Your woman love every day you in the truth.
No.
Right? She don't complain about you. In a minute, there's going to be times where that brotherhood is going to hurt you from her. She's going to hurt that you actually are with the brotherhood. She's going to hurt that she can't go and dress the way she want to dress, eat what she want to eat, party the way she used to party. All the things that she used to enjoy, she's not going to be able to do it no more.
Right.
And then now you're going to be coming in. For you sisters that got brothers in the truth, that's married to a man, especially if you met your man, if you was with your man in the world and came into the truth, now you don't want to be fast and do all the nasty shit that he actually doing and the sin that he had. Oh, you're going to hate the truth too. And so you're either going to do one of two things. You're either going to endure, even if you lose that husband or that wife.
Right.
Or you're going to go right along with that husband and that wife. What you going to say?
I got 3 wives, and one of my wives told me, I told her, I gotta stay Shema on Tuesdays now, and I gotta teach on Wednesdays, and it's mandatory class on Fridays. And I said, so I can't see on Monday. There's no more Ted Fire, so Monday you're done. Before the sun go down, you're done. I mean, you're good, but anytime after the sun go down, I can't see you to Saturday after camp.
When you say seek in the flesh, or you talk about
I'm talking about intimately, sir. And she was very upset about that.
Well, let her know. Here's what you tell her, right? Winter time is coming.
Stock it, I told her, sir.
But let me tell you what the Lord is His great mercy.
That's right.
The sun goes down a lot sooner than winter time. Class don't start till 7.
Right.
The sun will be down, so you ain't got to worry. That's the beauty of the sun going down. So let her know. Come around October, she ain't got to worry about you teaching classes. You can tell the fire and the sun will be down. So
Right.
you're good. Around October, whenever we put the clock back. Here we go.
Right.
And really, you don't even need Esau pushing the clock back because the sun goes down naturally sooner in the fall.
Right.
Fall and winter, like if y'all notice, it got dark around 7. But in July and August, it wasn't getting dark till around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Right.
Because as you get to the fall and the winter months, the days are shorter. Whereas in the summer, the days are longer.
Right.
Esau just pushing the time back to make it get darker sooner.
That's right.
So don't worry. There you go. Use wisdom. I learned that over time. I used to tell them say the same thing. Then when I found out I'm clean,
Right.
you tell them then that'll be all right. But if you don't endure and fight that battle, you could succumb to that.
Right.
Now she really challenged you. Because it's all of a sudden now she has to have sex that bad. She don't have to have sex that bad. It's because you're going to class.
Right.
So now the battle is on. You were gonna have sex with her and say, well, or you gonna come to class.
Right.
All right, you go.
So,
I'm sorry.
and she'll respect you less afterwards anyway.
Yes.
That's another thing. I didn't hear you, sir.
She gonna respect you less after that. And that's another thing. When you yield to that woman, let's say that woman getting you to do something that you know you have every right to do. She's trying to get you to go against what you know you have every right to do.
Right.
You yield to her, that respect that she has for you goes down. Because now what she knows is, oh, I'm getting the out.
Right.
That's right.
He done yield to this, he gives that. He gives this, he gives that.
Right.
Once you know, and the more she yields, the more you yield to her, and she get what she wants, she'll like you less. Now you're a son.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Never make no mistake that your woman don't respect the power that you have to say no. The power that you have to say, I'm doing it my way.
That's right.
You understand? When I'm saying my way, I'm saying according to the Most High,
Right.
but not giving into what she wants. She's going to respect you more that you're in power. And if she hates it, she wants a man that she can rule over and hate at the same time.
Right.
So you cannot yield to that power.
Don't come.
Let's go to Matthew 12, and we're going to start at 42.
At 42, sir. 43, don't come. The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man,
Right?
he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none.
So now it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man. So now, this is everybody that comes to you through, you start cleaning yourself up. So now the unclean spirit is gone from you. Then it says, ye walking through dry places, seeking rest, finding none. Who's that? Who's the he that walking through dry places, seeking rest, finding none?
The demon,
That's right. Why can't he rest?
you don't have a home.
Right. His home, what is you?
Right.
Imagine like you walk into a brand new, you walk into a home that's filthy. Then you clean it up and you take the dirt out. Now there's no rest. You don't have a home no more. So now he's homeless. So now that's why he's going seeking through dry places. Seeking rest, seeking somewhere that he can live in. And the fact that it's saying seeking rest lets you know how that sin lives in you. That sin is comfortable.
Right.
Like you know how a man have a man cave where he got a nice little chair, you recline that chair, got a little small on the side, don't bother me on Sundays, I'm watching football.
Right.
That's how the sin lives in you. It rests in you, that spirit. But now it's out of you. So now it's seeking rest somewhere else, but don't find it. Keep going.
Oh God. Verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
So now he said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the house that I was once in. Which goes right back to when I say, remember, that Satan said, scripture say, he left Christ for a season.
Right.
You understand?
Come on.
So now, he going to come back to you. That's important because when you get rid of that demon, whatever sin you was committing is always going to come back. The only difference is your battle with it is going to get stronger and stronger the more you battle. When you first stop smoking, when brothers come in, let's say they got a cigarette habit, weed habit. When they first come in, we may not tell them to quit smoking weed just like that. Quit smoking cigarettes just like that. Right. We might say, hey man, what cigarettes you smoke today? He might say, I smoke a pack and a half. He might say, okay, let's reduce it to a pack. And then we count and say, call me before you smoke a cigarette. Call me before every cigarette you smoke. And as he fights that battle, it goes down to the pack, it goes down to 15, it goes down to 10, 5, then to no cigarettes.
Right.
But that desire to smoke cigarettes is always going to be there until you keep battling. So when you get down to no cigarettes, now you don't have that nicotine in your body.
Right.
The craving is going to be there because that's the addiction. It's almost like you ever have somebody that drinks coffee every day,
Right.
and then when they don't drink coffee, they get headaches because caffeine is an addiction too. So you can drink caffeine every day, and because you're putting this thing in your body now begins to crave it. So when you get rid of that caffeine, now you crave it, and you know what they have to do? They got to go get coffee. So be careful with drinking coffee all the time because that's an addiction too. So when you get that nicotine out of your body, you're telling yourself spiritually, I don't want the nicotine no more. But your flesh is craving.
Right.
Your flesh is even the routine of nicotine. Because now you ain't going on the smoke breaks no more. When you get up in the morning, you'll smoke a cigarette before you brush your teeth. You're smoking a cigarette on the way to work. You taking your 15 minutes to go smoke a cigarette. After you have sex, you smoking a cigarette. After you eat your meal, you smoking a cigarette. The whole routine of smoking a cigarette is now gone. So now not only is your body fighting the desire of nicotine, it's also fighting the routine. You ever have a routine in life? You have a routine. You have any. Like I got a routine. When I leave work, I go to the gym. If I can't go to the gym, sometimes that messes up my routine. And that's lawful. So now you got this sitting of nicotine that's walking down your neck. And then what else do you got? Co-workers. Hey, Charlie, you going to the smoke break? You going to smoke? Nah, I'm giving up. Oh, you don't stop smoking cigarettes? Why you stop smoking cigarettes? And then you start explaining it to them. But it's foreign to them. They're still going to smoke. And now you standing there looking like a chump. That's what the demon gonna say.
No, so that's like if you got a addiction to whores, right? And then, I mean, you be like, oh, okay, I didn't beat these OnlyFans whores. So you go on a page and you find somebody with a head wrap on talking about some woman the truth. So now all of a sudden you meet up and you say, oh, okay, this, that, and the third, and then you find out that you got a head wrap whore.
More so, you won't even get a woman with a head wrap. You gonna get the same whore you with.
It's just a
Listen, that OnlyFans Bobby that you just did, that's a dream world.
yeah.
Nobody's sleeping with you.
Yeah.
You know who you sleeping with? The whore that's right outside this evening.
Yeah.
That's who you gonna find. She ain't gotta have a head. She gotta have sandals on and a white beater and like gym shorts.
Yeah.
Homeless. And you'll find a reason to sleep with her because you're a whore.
Yeah.
Because that's your routine. You understand? So it's good. We don't have to make it OnlyFans. We love whores. So because we love whores, we'll find a reason to get them. Now, could you get a woman with a head wrap and she turned out to be a whore too? That's going to be too much work for you. But you're not used to that. You want it fast. You want it like right now. So now imagine as you battling that, when you battle that demon of nicotine on weed the first week, every day that you battle that demon, you actually get stronger.
Right.
Now, keep reading where you was at.
Double card. And when he stop it. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, sweat, and garnished. 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
So now what he does, he don't just come with his words. He come with more words. Just think of it like it's coming with more spirits, but think of it like words. It's like their routine. That's a spirit. Now you think you got to do it for the routine. The breaks. You got to think you got to do it for the breaks. The after sex. The evening meal. Everything about it, the whole routine of it, is him coming with more demons, more spirits, more words to rest back inside of you. And when you let all of them back in, it says the last state is worse than the first state. You end up being way worse because you're going to have 2 crackheads. You can have a crackhead that always been a crackhead, and you can have a crackhead that used to be in the truth and is now on crack. This state is worse than that other crackhead. Because the one that was in the truth knows it's wrong.
Right.
The one that was always a crackhead, always a crackhead, never tasted the truth at all. So the Lord looked at the crackhead that was in the truth worse than the crackhead that's just a crackhead.
So I have a quick question about that. So what if the person that was in the truth go out to sin, whatever it may be,
Right.
but then comes back to the truth?
You can come back. Long as Christ ain't it. But it's gonna be that much harder.
The fight.
The fight's gonna be that much harder. You know why the fight's gonna be that much harder? Because you're gonna walk through that door. Oh, damn. What's up, Mike? Shalom. And you gonna like the brothers gonna come in, they're gonna give you some, you're gonna slip it back. And you're just gonna watch it even more. Because now you're marked. Your mark is a brother that, okay, he was in the truth, tasted the redemption that the Most High gave us. Go to Hebrews 10:26. I'll show you.
The book of Hebrews. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26. Or out of what I can have it. For if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there's no remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
Now, Christ didn't die so that you sin. That's why I said that state is worse. So when you go back into the world, you should expect to get tore up from the floor. You should expect it. It's going to happen. It has to happen. There is no avoiding it. Even if you try to hide your sin while you're in here, you'll find out. Don't think you're going to be able to sit in here, secret sin, and we don't find out. It always comes out. Right. You get punished, you get judged, and that's it, because he did not die for that. And I'm going to show you in the scriptures why that's important. Keep reading.
But a certain fearful looking for judgment and fury and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversary.
That's what you're supposed to look for. When you come into this truth, you should be fearful of the judgment of the Lord. Before you came into the truth, you didn't know about the judgment of the Lord. You just thought this was life. Like as the brother gave the example, you didn't grow up like I grew up. Right? So we just think this is called life. It's life for us to grow up without a father, in a gang, getting raped, child molested, homosexual. It's natural for us to grow up. But now you come into the truth and you know of the fury of the Lord, you're supposed to be fearful of that judgment. That's what's supposed to stop you from sin. If you truly have the spirit of the Most High, you look at the judgment. The scriptures say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of your love.
That's right.
Don't say the love of the Lord.
Wow.
The Most High is not a sucker. We are militant because the Most High is militant. Right.
That's right.
Right. So now, which shall devour the adversaries? Who's the adversary? When it says, but a certain fearful looking for judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. Who's the adversary?
People against the Most High, the sinners.
The sinner. The sinner is the adversary. Once you sin against the Most High in the truth, you are now an adversary against God. Put that in the spirit. Now you're the Lord's adversary. You're the Lord's adversary. You know how they like to say Satan is the adversary? Satan is the adversary. The angel Satan does what the Lord tells him to, but you'll become the adversary. Very easy. It's not that hard. Keep going.
He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses.
Now, he that despised Moses' law died under 2 or 3 witnesses, meaning if you broke the commandments during the time of Moses, 2 or 3 witnesses got you killed. If they testified and said, yeah, he did that, you got it. Right. Keep going.
Of how much sore punishment suppose ye shall he be thought worthy who have trodden under foot the Son of God, and he have countered the blood of the covenant.
So who's the witness now? Yahushua earned in Revelation, the 1st chapter, the scriptures say Yahushua got the keys to hell and death. Yeah, who knows what that means?
Life or death.
No, it says Christ got the keys to
hell and death. So the is it the condition of life? Is it soul?
It is sort of. So let's break that down. That's like,
I was gonna say, it means like you get to choose who lives or dies when you come back.
that's right. Now,
Uh,
the key, as you know, this is a metaphor because of the key is something that gets open. So when Christ endured into the end, took that judgment, he got the access to give you hell on earth or just kill you. That's why I'm saying that. So like, but before, during Moses' time, you needed 2 witnesses for Moses or the priest to carry out that judgment.
Right.
Now Christ just looks at it and he observes it. I'm gonna punish him this way. I'm just killing him. It's Christ. Christ is not a sucker. That's why it says of how much sorrow punishment suppose you shall be thought worthy, meaning you're worthy of this sore punishment.
Right.
If you died under Moses' law and Christ is greater than Moses, how much more punishment are you worthy of? That trotting underfoot, it's almost like pissing on Christ's grave. Like that's essentially what you're saying. Like Christ definitely means shit. That's what the Christian. Every time the Christian church tells you God loves the sinner, He hates the sin, they're telling you Christ's death on the shoulders. Excuse my language. And that's what we have to avoid. So there is no you leaving the truth, the speech is supreme, and you get to come back. Everybody that reads the truth, the Lord tears their ass up, they either die in the world or they try to come back into the truth. And even that trying to come back to the truth is not an easy task. I know brothers that have left, they try to come back, they leave again, try to come back, they leave again, try to come back. And we see their state. You see just how messed up they are. But the door is open. Now, go to 1 Corinthians 5. This is what I want to bring up before. Any other questions? If y'all got any questions on the subject, we're going over this right here. All right. Go to 1 Corinthians 5. Now, this is why you get rid of and have sin around you. You have to get rid of it.
Father, one, sir.
5 and 1, sorry, bro.
1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1. Rock, you got it? It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles.
It says, it is commonly reported that there is fornication among you. Like, you cannot have, when I remember when we was talking, I said, what you do affects the whole body. So you can't be a sinner and be a sinner. It's better to get rid of it.
Yeah.
If I would make it my personal business, I learned this in my life. If I find out you're sinning, you'll get tossed out the window, the stick, whatever the closest thing I can throw you out of school, I'm going to throw you out of school. Because the school matters more than your sin.
Right.
And that zeal that you have, like, remember, Joshua put that javelin through that brother that stole the Moabite donkey. Mattathias saw them sacrificing swine's flesh in the temple. He killed them in the temple. That type of zeal is necessary so the Lord knows we don't condone sin
Right.
in his house.
Right.
We cannot condone sin in his house. So now this sin they was committing, they said it wasn't even named amongst the Gentiles, meaning it's almost like saying you're doing some shit even a white man would do.
Right.
You're doing something even the Africans would. That's what Paul is saying about him now. You read?
That one should have his father's wife.
That's the sin he was committing. Not just adultery. He committed adultery with his father's wife. Sidebar. This is how you know that in the New Testament you're going to have more than one wife because he wasn't sleeping with his mother.
Right.
Sleeping with his father's second wife. Sidebar. It's an excellent
It's God. So, yeah, because it ain't saying no what's that called? Fornication, incest.
Well, it
Incest.
is fornication, but
Incest
this
and
is not
fornication.
incest.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
That's not his mother.
incest. Yeah, it's not his
That's
mother.
his father's other wife.
Yeah.
Right. Just a side note.
Yeah.
Keep going. Verse 2.
And ye are puffed up, and have not rather mourned that ye have done this deed. So
Now,
that he that hath done this deed might be taken away from among you.
what does this mean when it says that ye are puffed up and rather not? What does that mean?
I ain't care.
Ain't that they didn't care? They cared. But what did they care about? It said ye are puffed up.
Oh,
Not
yeah. He had pride. Like, yeah,
just him.
everybody. I mean, bragged it on.
Because everybody knew,
knew
not
he did
even
it.
so much bragging. Everybody knew he was doing it,
Yeah, they said,
but did nothing about it.
God.
So it's like, imagine your son sleeping with one of your ribs, and the whole school knows about it, and you're not doing nothing about it. That's why it says, ye are puffed up and have not rather mourned, that he that had done this deed might be taken away from you. Because what they should have done was remove him and put him out. Nobody should be able to sin and just be amongst us. Otherwise, we're in the Christian church. Agree.
For I verily, as absent in body, but present in spirit, have judged already, as though I were present, concerning him that have so done this deed.
So he judged. So Paul is writing this letter saying, I've judged them. Kick them out. But he's pointing out their glory of this. Paul should have never had to write this letter. This whole chapter should not have even been written at the point of what Paul is saying. Hey. Because all it should have been like, hey man, we found out his brother was sleeping with his father's woman. We put him out of school. Good. Excellent work. It should have been that simple, man.
Slap, sir, if I may. So this is saying about not condoning sin, right?
Right.
So my question is, what if, like one of my races is a Muslim, is quote unquote Muslim, but I just stand strong in this, and I say things to her, and I'll send her classes, but she'll cook for school, but she's still saying she's still a Muslim. Muslim.
Well, she break the rules in the house.
Break the rules now, so
She break the commands in the house.
she don't make a call or nothing, and I'll let you know. So if I say it's a no, if I
And she's not in here, she's in here, right?
right,
Right, so the scripture says the unbelieving has a desire as well, but the believing, you let them stay. So now your job is to destroy Islam. Your job is to make sure Islam is not, like, I don't want to go to your crib and I see Allah
So,
damn fireworks. I don't see no rock. The carpet on the ground, bowing down and stuff like that. There's things that you shouldn't allow. You can't allow the worship of Islam in your house. Whatever she chooses to do shouldn't take place in your house. So it's not just the pork, it's the rock and Quran, all of that stuff shouldn't be in your house. If she want to dwell.
Okay, so my question is like, I'm not condoning it.
No, you would be condoning it if you letting her read their Quran.
Okay.
Condoning it, you see her bowing down, facing Mecca. She whatever they
Nah,
do.
shit, nah.
She got her red carpet out. Shit.
None of that. Okay.
So will I be condoning it in my prayer to bow down my rib to feed my child tuna fish, allow him to celebrate birthdays, allow her to say that it's okay for you women to go out there and break up with your husbands and to leave
Well,
them?
that's different. That's not something she doing, but
Yeah,
anything that's against the law of God.
Yeah. Nah.
So now, read verse 5.
Verse 5. To deliver such an one unto Satan.
Deliver such a one what?
Unto Satan.
This is Paul saying, deliver him to Satan.
Nah, son.
Give him, why? Because he's not serving the Lord. Give him to Satan.
That's right.
For the destruction of the flesh.
So now, what does that mean? When we protect that sinner, you're holding back the judgment. That's true. You protect that sinner. You're holding back. That's why I said to deliver such a one to Satan for the destruction of the flesh. This is why.
Come, God. It's like that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushua.
Because what could happen? Let's say he sins. Let's say a man sins, right? If you allow him to sin, you're not helping. But when you go to put him out of school, carry out the judgment, what could happen?
Come back stronger.
You can come back strong.
That's right.
That's why you're going to deliver him to Satan. That's why it says that the spirit may be saved in the day. The spirit is true. The spirit is the school. That they may be saved and removed from this, and that maybe he might repent.
That's right.
But if you're condoning his action, if you're saying it's okay to eat pork, it's okay to eat this, it's okay to worship this, it's okay to celebrate, it's okay to do all those things, he ain't saying nothing. So you're giving a license to sin.
Right.
Ah,
That's why you understand.
Come, God.
Long time ago, General Hyman had said maybe that brother need to get messed up in the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you stop on that.
That's what I'm saying. You pull him back to Satan. Hey, maybe the Lord needed to get a few more rounds. Maybe the Lord ain't finished moving his asses. You know what I mean?
Salak, if I may, sir, I understand what you're saying because I tell brothers the greatest thing that happened to me being since I've been in the truth was being on suspension from the truth. And you said something during the council, and I believe it hit me so hard that I was slapping the leg. I was left up bad. I was like, God, I sat in something for about 3 days after this. You said maybe the girl is more important than the truth. Because I was in Atlantic City and I was supposed to be at. I said, I didn't want to talk to nobody. Leave me alone.
Right.
My ribs, everybody. I said, what the hell? I waited every day for the brother to come home because me and my brother share an apartment. Every day I'm like, what happened today? What happened to camp? What happened to class? And I'm sick and I'm like, I tried to go stay with my rib. I said, I got to sit to her quick. I said, nope. Went to the other rib, nope. And I'm like, the only thing I do is watch it on class. So, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
That it is like we have to go be tried.
Because imagine if I don't say that, we don't do nothing.
Right,
ah,
You would have never got locked in.
right.
Wow.
That made you, like, that's love.
ah.
Like, not love would be allowing you to do all that and doing nothing about it.
Ah.
It's almost like a kid. When you see like a spoiled kid, you think spoiling your woman is a good thing. Spoil means to destroy.
Ah.
Now, I'm not now. When I say this brother's thing, I ain't gonna do nothing for it. I ain't gonna do nothing. No. Take care and love your woman. What I'm talking about is doing things that really hurts her.
Right.
Ah.
When in the scripture it said you teach her an evil act against you, the evil act that you can teach her is allowing her to do things that hurt her. Now, when you love, you say things and do things to draw them in or to keep them away. But you have to do it because if you don't, that spirit will now latch on to another brother. You latch on to another brother.
Right.
Because if one brother is able to get away from not coming to camp or class, the
Nah.
other brothers say, well, I ain't got to come. So I can't go. Well, I got to.
Right.
I got to show up here. Well, I got to. Well, I got to do this. You understand?
Come, God.
My cousin,
No.
Good, sir. Glad I don't want.
precept on open rebuke is better than secret love.
Absolutely.
Slap that in.
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
Proverbs 27 and 5.
Proverbs 27,
You
27
know what I
5.
put? I'm just telling you.
I just want to write it down. It said Proverbs 27 5.
Come.
You gonna say something?
Yeah, no, so I was gonna say something. I just forgot it that fast. I'm trying to.
Any other questions? No questions off the subject? Go to your mic. You might say comment.
I'm trying to remember that question out of my mind. I can't.
Go to your Apocrypha, Second Ezra, 7th chapter. And, 6th verse. all on the subject of endurance, so we have the subject or the title to put over what I'm going through now. 2 Ezra 7 and 6 and 6. All right.
Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 6. All right, and got it.
What?
7 verse 6.
Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 6. There is also another thing.
Right.
A city is building and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. Verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
Now, what you have is you got this city full of good things. Imagine a narrow path. Let's say it's as skinny as this table. And on one side, if you fall, and it's so narrow, only one man can go at a time. On one side there's water, on another side there's fire. Keep going.
And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
And the point of it being so small, it's almost like you got to tiptoe. So there ain't no wiggle room on it. That's how thick this road is. But on the other side of the road was a kingdom with a good thing. Keep going.
Even between fire and the water. So it's like, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, 2 Ezra chapter 7,
Yeah, verse 9.
were given now for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before him, how shall he receive this inheritance?
That's your life for the truth. You might think your life for the truth is going to be changed for the better. To start, it's going to be changed for the worse.
That's right.
Because you got to get
That's right.
The reason why we have a young man program, trooper program, and officer program is because you got to pass through this fire. You got to pass through this water. So if you're a young man for a long time, you ain't passing through the fire. You drown. Or you burn. If you're a trooper for a long time, you ain't passing through the fire. You're not trying to get to the city. And even when you come into the officership as a 50, now you done kind of supplanted yourself and you on your way. Right. But you knowing that this is going to be a battle for the rest of your life. Because that's what the truth is about. The truth is about enduring a narrow path with fire on one side, water on the other side. I'm either going to burn to death, I'm going to drown to death, or I'm going to stay on this path to get to the kingdom. Right. That's the truth. That's everybody. And it's never going to stop. Ever. Never going to become a time where you're going to be so comfortable that you can like way to the side, way to the side. You'll be playing with the drowning of the fire. And as you're playing, everybody else is going forward. So you still wondering, man, this is still a young man. I ain't gonna leave with anything. I ain't gonna always touch him. I'm still this. I'm still that. Why am I still suffering these problems with my rib, with my kids, with my slave? Why is all these things happening to me? You have to examine yourself. Everything about your life, you can never blame the Most High or those around you. You have to examine yourself first. Right. When you read the story of Job, and Job had his homies with him, they examined everything except Job. Job just knew he was right, perfect, and he didn't do nothing. You know when he got right? He realized he wasn't right. When he realized he deserved everything that was happening to him. That's the last, all you gotta do is go to the last chapter of Job. And when he knew that, not only did he save his life, he saved his friend's life. Because his friends were going to get punished because they were giving him horrible advice. Period. So if you don't clean up yourself, you're not going to get nowhere. Y'all got anything? I'm sorry. Read verse 10.
Verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then he said unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
That's your portion. Your portion is to endure say, man, that's too dangerous. I'm gonna just sit on this side. That's why even Christ said, wide is the gate to destruction. Narrow is the way.
Right.
It's narrow for a reason because everybody don't want to fight. Everybody don't want to fight themselves. This is better to say, man, I'm gonna just go get high.
Come
Man, I'm about to go to the strip. I had a friend of mine in the world. Whenever he said he was at the bar with the strip club. Every time he said he was chicken at the strip club, right at the bar. I said, what you got to do? At the bar. And I never knew what it was at first.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm about to come through. So you want to come through here? I said, where you at? I said, that's what you mean when you said the bar? He said, yeah. And that's where he was every single time. The bar. And he was a drummer for the Christian church.
Mm.
And I'll never forget, he walked into his church, and we were so disgusted in his church. Well, as he's the drummer, you know how you got to walk around in the church and get money for next week? We didn't walk around. The best part was watching them women walk around. And I would just catch his eye, he'd catch my eye. Them sisters had them dresses. They fly here, dress here. They walking around. That's what we do in the church. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. If y'all got any questions, of course, you can ask your questions. While we break this down. This is about endurance again. So go to Ecclesiastes 12. We're going to start at verse 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 11. Allah can got it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 11. The words of the wise are as goads and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd.
Now he's talking about the words of the wise, and he's saying how they are as goads and as nails fastened by masters of assembly. A master of assembly is somebody that can build a structure that's impenetrable, that can stand for hundreds of years. So now he's saying that's how the words are wise and given from one shepherd. So that wisdom is not given from multiple shepherds. For those that think you can learn over here, learn over here, learn over there, it's given from one shepherd. Keep going.
Good, so definition of gold. I have it if
Yeah,
I need it. A spiked stick used for driving cattle.
You heard that? A spiked stick used for driving cattle, like imagine a long nail. A spiked stick used for driving cattle. Right? Keep going, read verse 12.
And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end.
That's the other thing, man. You trying to learn those different philosophies, then you got to read everything. Now, just for anybody being simple, when it says the making of many books, it's not talking about your math book, your science, or whatever you got to learn for your job. This is talking about what you yield your spirit to. That's why I say the words of the wise. There is no wisdom outside of this Bible.
That's
It
right.
don't exist. Anything you want to know about your life or life itself, you can find in the Bible. I don't care what the subject is. As old as this book is, there ain't a sin you commit you can't point out in this book. There ain't a wisdom or counsel you need that we can't point out in this book. That's how powerful this book is. You agree?
Come. And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
That's the thing. You be studying, doing all that reading to try to get to what they call your truth. You ever heard that? Your truth. You can't tell me about my truth. You ain't got the truth. None of us have the truth. It's only the truth from the Most High. That's all there is. None of this belongs to UBK or Commander Johnny Holliday, Muhammad Cat, me. None of it. It all belongs to the Most High. Right? That's the truth. Now, we say we own the truth because the Lord resides here. You agree?
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Fear God.
That's the first. That's what I said earlier. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love. That's what the scripture says. The fear of the Lord. understanding of his love. Keep going.
and keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. Keep going.
For this is the whole duty of man.
That's your job. You want to know, if you just do that, you'll live.
That's right.
That's it. Remember when Christ fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, Satan came and said, I know you're hungry. And the first thing Christ said, man shall not live by bread alone, but every word of the Most High.
Okay.
That's your wisdom. That's the only thing that you have. Let's go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter. New Testament. Ephesians, the 6th chapter.
It's like that was just 11 and 12, sir.
12 and 11.
No,
11 through 13.
11 through 13. Come on, sir.
Ephesians, what's up?
Ephesians, the 6th chapter. I want to get sharper with finding these books. Finding these books, I want to be on it. Especially y'all got active phones. Let's get sharp, right?
First scripture, sir.
Ephesians, the 6th chapter. You can start at verse 11.
Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Allah got it. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
How do you put on the whole armor of God? How do you do it?
His law, statutes, and commandments.
How do you put it on? That's what it is. How do you put it on?
By living it.
Yeah. That's how you put it on. You can't. It's like Christians know. You ever tell a Christian we're supposed to eat pork? First thing you're gonna say, that's the Old Testament. That means they know about it. They don't put it on. You got, like, when they say put on the whole armor, everything that the Lord told us to do, we have to wear it. Y'all know how y'all like your fly ass garments, especially around Passover, you put the best garment. You gotta wear the armor of the Lord like you would wear your Passover garment. And the reason why you wearing that whole armor of the Lord is that you need to stand against the wiles of the devil. The wiles or ways of the devil that lives in you. Everything. I focus on this a lot of times when I teach this subject. Because a lot of people don't think they got demons. And all of us got demons. All of us got demons in us that we fight every day. Now, it's easier for you to fight them the more seasoned. So, like, when I came into the truth, I used to love smoking weed. I've never done that higher than that. When I came into the truth now, that was like 2009 was the last time I smoked. So now, 2022, it does nothing to me. But 2010, I couldn't go hang around the barber shop. I couldn't do that. I couldn't even smell it. I had to remove that from me. That's putting on the armor. So I put on the armor of not smoking weed and put on the further armor about resisting the wiles of the devil by not going around the demons.
Right.
That would entice me to do it. So you cannot recover from your sin and go around the sin. If you're addicted to whores, you can't go to the bars. You can't even go to a dance club where they got regular clothes, regular whore clothes. You can't go to the club. Because in the club, them dresses, church dresses, this the need, the church dress here, whore dresses up here. The ass cheek right there. That's what it's at. So now you're gonna go to the club and think you're addicted to whores. You come into the truth and you think you're gonna go to the club and you resist the whores. You're not. You're addicted to selling drugs. You think you're gonna come into the truth, but you're gonna go around the drug dealer and not sell drugs. You're going to sell drugs. You're going to sleep with whores. You're going to be a whore if you're a woman when you go around the same elements. So the only thing you can do is put that armor on. Right. Now, once you put that armor on, you become seasoned. Now when you smell the weed, it does nothing. When you see the cats that you used to get high with and sell drugs with, when they see the new you, one or two things happen. You can either influence them to come into the truth, or now they stay away from you, which is just as good. Right, that's right. Both of them good. Keep going.
Okay, so I got a question. What if it's like the world? Yeah, I smoked weed, right? But it's been 8 years since I smoked cigarettes and weed and stuff. So, but I still got people that still ask me like, "Yo, I got what do you call it now? I got Zaza or something like that." It's like they still asking.
Yeah, that's
You know,
that
they
Matthew
see.
12 chapter. That's the demon trying to come back to your house. Listen, you ever have somebody escape the hood? You know, like we all grew up in the hood. You get that one brother that might escape the hood and he live a different life than you. What they call him?
Yeah, he made it.
No, I'm saying, what they call him? I'm
Say
saying,
it again, sir.
say we all grew up in the hood and you got that one cat, he leaves the hood.
Sell out.
That's
Sell
what
out.
they call it. Right. Because they would rather you be back with him. They don't want to see it back. Right. Same thing with you and truth. To them, you're a sellout. Spiritual. So they know you don't smoke weed, but the demon in the hey, this is lifetime. You can have it. You know, back then when you want, they got some new shit now. They got all different kind of shit now. You don't want to try it? Because they want to watch it. It's almost like, even in the hood, people would make you get high just to make you get high because somebody made them get high.
Right.
That's the whole reason why they're trying to get you high. They're setting you up. You think like we always grew up thinking the older guys in the hood loved us because they bought the liquor for us. Or because they gave us the weed. They didn't love us. They hated us. Otherwise they would not. Like you'll have some drugs, like I remember a long time they had this movie called The Goat. Right? It was about Earl Mann. Right? The drug dealers at one time stopped. They was like, no, I don't want to sell you drugs. Like if it was a good basketball player or something like that, right? They might leave him alone. He might have some type of conscience. But to the cat that they think they can get over on, or hey, deliver this pack up here. You ever deliver the pack, you don't even know what's in the bag. But you're 8, 9 years old, they pay you in candy. They give you $20. They done gave you $20 to deliver dope up the street. And your simple ass don't know if you get caught, you going to jail. Why are they doing that? Because you'll come home because you're a computer. Right. So it's all about taking advantage. So now when you come into the truth, when they see you, they don't see the shop. They see whoever you was and you was rapping and selling them CDs. That's what they see. And they need you to get high so they can say, see, I told you so. I told you it's going to be just like it's no different than I'll give you another one. Say somebody goes to a rehab clinic. They ain't in the truth or nothing. They just go to a rehab clinic to clean themselves up. When they come home to that same neighborhood, it's the first mistake. Because they're going around the same element. And then the people that he was getting high with can't wait for him to get high. They say, yeah, he was that rehab. He was wasting time. He smoked with me the other day. Because you're going around the same element. Right. If you don't put on the armor of the Lord, you will succumb to the demons that are in you. Read the next one.
Come. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
That's important. You're not wrestling against flesh and blood. But you are wrestling against principalities. Keep going.
Against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
That covers gay marriage, abortion, you can get high, church Sunday service, Christmas. Everything about this world is spiritual wickedness in high places.
850.
Everything about this world is spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what this world is. And if you don't put on the armor, read verse 14.
God. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
That's right.
And having
you
on.
Say your loins is talking about, like you say, when the cat say, I got big kahunas, I say that. So now, it's saying having your loins girt about with truth. So if you're going to have strength, your strength has to come from the truth. None of us was intelligent before we came to the truth. Right. The truth made you intelligent. When you conquer the demons, it's not because you was a big, super duper mighty man. Otherwise, you would have never needed the truth to conquer the demons first. Right. The truth, that armor that you put on, that's what allows you to conquer. So now you have to have your loins girt about with the truth. Keep reading.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness.
That breastplate of righteousness. That's your armor. If you're not dressed in that, you will never resist the way of the devil. That I pass the class. For those that don't know, we did
Put it in. I'm gonna talk to you after. Nothing.
Israel, Amadu. Amadu Spot, Amadu. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barak Atham.
That's the time. Dismissed. That was all the way to 15, sir. Salakia.
Yeah, you can read that all the way down.
Salaki, so if you elaborate on the part where you said when you come back into the school, you mark